So Leigh, why is it important for students to get involved in AASP?
I know that for me, as several other colleagues whom I've talked to, one of the really important reasons to get involved with AASP is for professional development. So basically, AASP is not just a committee or an organization of people who put on a conference each year. Certainly, that's an emphasis of the organization, but year-round, AASP is operating to help with professional development. So right now, working towards certification for CCASP. Offering webinars on sort of a quarterly basis for people to get continued education credits. And as a student, I've been a part of those webinars and found them very useful, either with consultations that I'm currently doing with athletes or with teams, as well as just things to sort of tuck away for future reference. So as Jack Lezick can certainly describe to you about starting a private practice, really getting sort of a head start on some of that information is really useful rather than having to come in really blind. So the organization does a great job of educating students about what is to come and how to develop themselves professionally. The conference is certainly a great starting point, especially for first-time attendees, to really get your feet wet in what it's like to be a professional and to balance the personal interests with sort of the goals or the strategic plan of the organization and how you fit into that.
And what advice would you give to students that are interested but have not really made that step to being involved?
And I will validate that sometimes it's not an easy step. It can be very comfortable to just show up at the conference and have a good time. But I would say that getting one step further, the first thing to do is come to the student open meeting. And that is an annual meeting that happens during the conference. It's usually followed by a student social where you can really connect with other students who are heavily involved in the organization. And from there, you get to hear a lot about the student initiatives that are a part of our organization. It may be something working with other sports psychology students who are overseas. It might be something like providing mentorship to undergraduates who aren't sure how to go the sports psych route. It might be contributing to our iPad manual, which offers some internship and supervision sources, or our PEM newsletter, which goes out. So all of these student initiatives really help to, again, provide value to a student membership and get students' voices out there in the community of AASP as well as in the public eye. So I'd say the first step is go to the student open meeting and the student social. Beyond that, of course, sort of working your way up the ladder, if you will, getting involved on committees. So we have a diversity committee, we have an ethics committee that are chaired by members of the executive board, or that report to the executive board, I should say. And those committees are very important to the organization. They help to really reflect what are our pillars, what are the things that we really want to be wary of and things that we want to develop in both our professional members as well as our student members. So sitting on a committee really gets you that experience beyond just working with your peers, but also now working with early career professionals as well as fellows, and understanding their perspective from someone who's out in the field or someone who has even helped to create the history of the field. Beyond that, serving on the executive board, running in elections, and if you're not going to run, just vote. We've tried so hard to get more of the membership to vote, and that is one place where, like I said, because there's so many students in this organization, every vote counts, especially the students. So ultimately, if you don't want to serve on the executive board, certainly voting for the people who you would like to see in those positions, who you feel are going to represent you.